Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Chantay. I'm here with my analysis today on this Friday, August 14th, 2020. Almost forgot the days of the week, but I know it's a Friday, so that's good. I have done many live streams of this. Hey, Latasha, I've done so much live streams on this because I just feel like it's important to bring awareness of what's going on in our politics and what's going on in our world, in our country, particularly. So I'm here today. So I'm going to get to COVID because, like I said, COVID is always something that is hampering us. It's our first issue, and we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Believe it or not, we're not out of the clear. The pandemic is still here, and this might last for a while. So, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I have to be realistic about this. So here we are with the numbers for COVID-19 as of August 14, 2020. Globally, we are at 21,066,992 cases of COVID. So once again, globally, in 188 countries, including the USA, 21,066,992. The global death toll is at 762,997. Here in the USA, we account for a fourth of those cases. So we are at 5,306,215. So once again, in the US, we are at 5,306,215. The number of fatalities we sit at is 168,396. So we're at almost 170,000 cases, and the death toll is still increasing. Countries with the highest cases besides the US, because the US tops it all, Brazil has 3,224,876 with their death toll at 105,490. India, 2,461,190. Russia, 910,776. South Africa, 579,140. Mexico, 505,751. Peru, 507,996. Colombia, 433,805. Chile, 382,111. And the Latin American countries, we have Ecuador sitting at 99,404. Dominican Republic, 84,488. Panama, 79,402. Guatemala, 61,428. Honduras, 49,042. El Salvador, 22,314. In African nations, we have Nigeria, 48,445. Ghana, 41,847. Kenya, 29,334. Cameroon, 18,469. Senegal, 11,872. And Gambia, 1,623. In the West Indies, Haiti is at 7,810. Jamaica is at 1,071. Bahamas, 1,119. Guyana, 649. Oh, Tasha, just again, Jamaica has 1,170. Hey, Keith. Trinidad and Tobago, 426. Belize, 356. Barbados, 148. Antigua, 93. St. Vincent, 57. St. Lucia, 25. Grenada, 24, while Dominica still remains at 18, and St. Kitts still remains at 17. Also, in the states, which the state numbers I actually got from the New York Times COVID map, and as for the global countries, that's from the Johns Hopkins website. Those are the two websites that I look on each and every day for the COVID numbers. California, which is the highest cases in the U.S., 608,759. Followed by Florida, 563,277. Texas, 539,380. New York, which was the epicenter of all of this, is 400. Hey, Jamila, 428,879. Georgia, 215,328. Illinois, 204,515. Arizona, 191,751. New Jersey, because the ends. 188,433. North Carolina, 142,259. Louisiana, 136,860. And South Carolina, 104,838. In the counties, Los Angeles leads the highest counties in the United States at 214,425. Miami-Dade County, 140,984. Maricopa, 127,768. Cook County, 113,788. Honduras, hey Joseph, Honduras. Oh my God, these H's. It's Friday. Harris County in Houston, Texas, 89,425. In Queens, which was the epicenter of all this thing during the peak of COVID, is now at 68,246. And something that I haven't said earlier before, I actually got the chance to look on the CDC website, which is the Center of Disease Control, is cdc.org, travel advisories of what the heck is going on. And the U.S. is banned from all countries. So let me just read the levels to you. So they have a level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is practice usual precautions when traveling. Level 2 is practice enhanced precautions when traveling. And level 3 is avoid non-essential travel. So who's on level 1? It's British Virgin Islands, Dominica, because Dominica has 18, Greenland, and Taiwan. Countries at low risk. Well, that's no travel advisory. Countries at low risk, which it remains level 1, is New Zealand, which reported no cases, Thailand and Fiji and other host of countries, which I didn't get the chance, but there's like 3 other countries on there. In terms of level 3, like I said, is avoid non-essential travel. So there's about 150 something countries on that. So that includes Dominican Republic, includes Mexico, it includes Trinidad and Tobago, it includes Russia, it includes Brazil, it includes Europe, it includes Africa, it includes Australia, it includes China, except New Zealand, Thailand, Fiji, and some other hosts of very small islands. The U.S. is on the travel advisory thing too, so we can't go nowhere. So that's where we are. Summit is shut down. So, yeah. And, of course, like I said, we have no national strategy. I'm going to say that every night because I have no confidence in this administration that we will be able to get out of COVID-19. This isn't an election year. Everybody's trapped in their homes. This is the summertime. A lot of large events is canceled because there are states that's actually trying to reduce the amount of cases, practice more mitigation, which mitigation means social distancing. But in Trump's forever lying campaign rally of a press conference, touted, the same tote line. He's referring to this virus as the China virus. No surprise. Claims that his administration has fully invoked the Defense Production Act, which is also known as the DPA. Claims factories are being built around the country to make the physical protection equipment, which is the PPE equipment that includes gowns, masks, all the essentials for the hospital, testing, drugs, and etc. He said they're helping other countries, which I don't see that, because if they are, we would have been traveling if he was helping other countries. We would have had the least cases if he was helping other countries. Also claims that the DPA was to produce over 30,000 ventilators a month. Then he calls himself the king of ventilators. He also said, I use a DPA more comprehensively than many other presidents in history. That's bull, because the Defense Protection Act was used during World War II, and that was Franklin D. Roosevelt. So what the hell Trump is talking about? Also 3M, which is the company, he has said increase 1 million masks, which their mask is hella expensive. I looked on Amazon. It's completely expensive. You can get a good mask at Old Navy and wash that shit and wear it. Or you could get a hospital mask or a face shield from CVS for like a good $20. Anyway, he said he used the Defense Protection Act to fight price gouging and hoarding. And if that was the case, why there's a shortage on Lysol? Why there's a shortage on the stuff to make the Lysol, a shortage on Clorox? Why different governors of different states ask different companies to make hand sanitizer? If you were using your Defense Protection Act to fully, to avoid price gouging? Why certain products cost about $7, $8 when they're really like $5 in a store? But okay, I'm bugging out. He also said there are clinical trials for like the vaccines, which I don't believe that at all. I think it's a full lie. So of course, if you're a smart person, you should know like all these things that I'm saying, it's a lie. That as I'm deconstructing and fact checking it and basically knowing because of history. He was asked about, money towards the post office, and he said that yes, he was asked, would you concede with the Democrats? Basically, would you make a deal? He said, yes, if they give us what we want, and not saying what we want, but what the American people want. The American people want to live. They want money in their pocket. They want a roof over their head. They want food on their table. They want to go back to work safely. That's what the American people want, and to vote safely. This whole notion of the UPS removing boxes, mailing boxes from Western states, including, I found out in New York, because I'm like, why there's less post office boxes on the street? Like, why? What the hell is going on? Trying to drop something in the mailbox, And it's crazy. And they're reducing the hours of postal workers in states like Florida, Missouri, and West Virginia. And these are states that are Trump states for his reelection. But, like I said, and I said this yesterday, and I probably got some heat for it. And I took a break off of Facebook because I got some heat for it. Because, people just being ignorant and stupid. There were 25 candidates that ran for the Democratic nomination. Hey. And everybody doesn't have their choice. Well, my first choice is actually the VP. If I had a second choice VP, which was Stacey Abrams, but she doesn't have enough experience. Overall, as we get into this whole general election, this administration seems to not care about COVID. They seem to not care about giving small businesses extra money. They don't seem to care. And that's what I want to tell you. Like, do your research on candidates. I always did my research on candidates. That's how I vote for what's his face, for a public advocate in New York. I did my research on him. I know I wasn't a big fan of him when he was the city council member. I'm going to keep it real. But I did my research and seeing like he is passionate about people. He is. But he hasn't done really anything since being the public advocate. But besides just my biases, do your research on candidates. You will learn something. And to all the Bernie Sanders people, as I said yesterday, Bernie Sanders been riding with Biden since April, and they have a unity task force, which is called the Biden and Sanders Unity Task Force. And one of the task force, the policies that came out of it is a $775 billion plan to for home health aid and for home health aid workers and daycare workers to get training as they're in their careers. You can look it up. Look, it's a video up there. There's a written policy over there. There's so much. But as I said, this administration seems to not care about COVID. They are stripping funding away from testing sites. Thank God I have a governor who actually still has about over 700 testing sites throughout the state, including a lot here in New York City, which we were the biggest epicenter of all of this. We're following the science, we're following the data. For those who have lived in states with Republican governors, I suggest that you be safe, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands. And if you got kids in school, the best thing, I'm not a parent, I hope they're safe. Tell your kids, do not hug your friends, do not touch your friends, waving them at a distance. I think there should be social distancing measures. Honestly, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be radical. I don't think school should be open, period. Period. Because it's bad. It's a big COVID outbreak. Kids miss their friends. They haven't seen their friends since April. And I know kids like to hug. But at this point in time, this is dangerous. I know I'm spending a lot of time on COVID because this is more than just a public health issue. It's also a financial issue. It's an educational issue because kids can't really learn in the classroom because of the social distancing measures and broadband. There's a lack of broadband throughout the country on some places, especially in the South and the Midwest, because of the legislation and because of the legislator. That's why I say local legislation is a big deal when you vote them in, because you're voting on legislation policies, and the legislative branch is the most strongest branch in my opinion, because they don't want to make and pass the laws. The only thing that the executive branch does is enforce it, unless they have executive power to veto a bill. That's where the checks and balances come. And then you have a judicial branch who make you follow those goddamn laws. So either way, to me, I think the strongest branch of them all, in my opinion, is all three of them is good, but the legislative branch I feel like is always strong because they're the one that make and pass the laws. They're the champions behind different policies, and that's how you see it. So COVID, and also as an economic issue with COVID, a lot of people are losing their jobs. As you can see, the unemployment is very, there's no unemployment plan. Senate don't convene until like September. So there's going to be people that's going to be homeless on the streets by the end of the summer into the winter. Going to a shelter is dangerous slightly because of the social distancing measures and how COVID can be an outbreak there. So it is a housing crisis on top of the economic crisis. There is a 10.1 unemployment rate. There's so much going on. It's insane. I suggest everyone stay abreast and do your research on COVID because it's just more than a public health issue. Even though that's the number one, it's an economic, it's a housing, and it's an education issue. Get into a little bit of the politics. I'm not going to spend too much time on the politics. As you know, Biden and Harris, they signed their paperwork to be declared as nominees as of this week. The DNC is from the 17th to the 21st. Bernie Sanders is one of the speakers. Elizabeth Warren, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, John Kasich, nasty ass. I don't know why. I'm still mad at DNC why they do that. And all the hosts of leaders. I haven't not seen the lineup. And of course, Biden and Harris give their speeches before they get nominated by the delegations in 50 states. So that's where we are. I was going to discuss about the Democracy Now! Debate, but you can look that up yourself, between Nikki Solis and Laura Bazelon. Laura Bazelon is the one that wrote the infamous article of Kamala Harris not being not a progressive prosecutor, which is all bullshit. We all know that. That's what I'm saying. If you look up Democracy Now! On YouTube, if you need me to DM it to you, I will DM it to you so you can look at that video, because the progressive public defender who worked with Kamala and opposed Kamala on certain issues said she was a progressive candidate. And that's why you do your research on people. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I can say take COVID-19 seriously. Seriously. We are almost at 170,000 deaths, and we're over 5.3 million cases. And we have no plan. None. No plan at all. This is dangerous. I do this not just because to gain clout or to gain anything. I do it to educate people, no matter what life you come from, what matter what your ideological preferences, whether you are Democrat, Republican, or independent. I am here to educate you on what the freak is going on in our political climate today. It is important that we all stay abreast and that we all stay vigilant, that we follow the science and the data. I gave the website to you all the time, coronavirus.jhu.edu. That's the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website where you can look at the daily data of coronavirus. So until then, I will do a small snippet update on the weekends to give you just the numbers of coronavirus, not the daily rundown, but just the numbers of coronavirus. I probably will do the states over the weekend, just globally in the states, only tomorrow and Sunday, because COVID-19, like I said, is a very serious issue, and it's a layer of issues, not just public health, but economic, housing, and education crisis as well. So until then, enjoy your weekend, be safe, stay hydrated, stay masked up, wear your mask, wash your hands, and social distance. Until then, have a good night.